XSplit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Breakdown. This is Thursday, September 29th, 2022. It's our second edition of the Twitch show here that is brought to you by Duskbreakers. I'm Ask Joshi, the community lead, and this is Bernie Sue, of course, joining us once again. How you doing, Bernie?
What's happening, Joshy? Good to be here. Good to be here. What's
Yep.
happening?
Hi. Glad to see you again. We've been 2 weeks away, back to the grindstone, basically, during the egg experience, which, of course, is top of mind for everyone in the Duskbreakers project right now. It's our second collection, the Gribble Eggs. For those not in the know, you can see a little bit of the details over on the side of your screen there. The play to mint at duskbreakers.gg/Adrian. You can also just go to duskbreakers.gg and see all the mint information there for you, as well as news articles explaining how all of those various experience things work. But if you are in the know and you've already got some level 5 eggs and you've been playing Twilight Shift and reading about Adrian and Asha, then you know that September 30th is initially a date that we were working around for a 6-week incubation period. And now we have changed a little bit. Obviously, we have the benefit of being able to watch and wait and make new decisions based on market conditions and what we're seeing. So it was pretty much unanimously decided over here at Duskbreakers that we would continue the incubation process and allow more users to enter the Duskbreakers and Gribble Eggs experience before the hatchening. And the hatchening is still just a code word, so to speak, for the reveal of all of these Gribble Eggs, whether they're level 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. They will all reveal and become playable game assets. That is, of course, the goal of the collection. So while we are incubating and learning more about the lore of Duskbreakers, Adrian and Asha telling us all about how we got to this point, we're happy to have so many people actually involved. We've got thousands of eggs out there now. And the second part of this egg experience that we said September 30th would be the end of incubation. Now we're extending that through October. The second part is the claims for original Breaker NFT holders. So the Genesis Breakers, the only collection we had for most of the year, the original collection, you could still can tonight, get free claims of Gribble Eggs if you have not done so already. But tomorrow we are starting to migrate that portion of the 10,000 claimable eggs, whatever's left over tomorrow, will begin to migrate to our own treasury for future use, contests and prizes and whatever else you can think of. But basically, there's a limit, so we will be cutting that off for the claim period tonight/tomorrow, depending where you're at time zone wise. That process will begin, so do not waste any time if you have not claimed yet. So basically, those are the two big things. Incubation will continue through October. Claims end tonight/tomorrow. Get moving on that quickly if you have not already. But also, the Adrian and Asha, Adrian's Sanctuary visual novel has wrapped up in the last 2 weeks. We saw chapters 13, 14, 15, and 16 in that time, and things ramped up quite quickly there. So, Bernie, why don't you just step us through maybe the finale? Not step us through the finale, I guess, but paint a picture of where we're at with Adrian and Asha.
Yeah, so Adrian and Asha, that whole experience was the visual novel experience, those of you who are playing it. And we really loved the feedback that we got from it, from you all as consumers and storytellers. So happy to do it. One of the things we discussed was whether or not we should extend the experience, given the extension of everything else, right? So, but we decided that we weren't going to do that. We had not we know that the visual novel experience as this early stage is to be fair to visual novel enthusiasts, it barely qualifies as a visual novel. I think that's very accurate. You know it, we know it, and I don't want to like inflate that. And so we wanted to put our time to building more advanced experiences for you all in future iterations. I mean, the Adrian story did what we intended to do, was to give you an insight in the kind of the back channels of Machifuko and the Shadow District, how the eggs incubated, some little blips of notes of different characters, some canonical breakers, some other characters we haven't revealed yet who I first mentioned in that story. I don't want to spoil anything specific, but that was the idea. It was Adrian was your guide of the story of incubation, going up to the Twilight Shift, the Dusk Twilight, playing Twilight Shift, going to the Red Warrens, collecting your Ed Knight and your Volagem, creating your Omnigrow and all that stuff. And so instead of say expanding and extending that single experience but staying in the same kind of stale format, we're playing with some other initiatives, and that will become revealed shortly during this egg extended egg experience. It's a tongue twister. It is a tongue twister, but yes, we are doing that. But also, future visual novels with more advanced visual novel tech is something that we are definitely aiming towards in the future.
Yeah, and I'll just remind everyone, a lot of the things we're still building here are first efforts from our team. So we're learning as we build all these things. Clearly, the website went through a bunch of changes during the experience. Obviously, lots of improvements, things that we couldn't catch beforehand. The visual novel obviously continued to improve throughout as well. And now we've learned some things for potentially the next go round. But this is one of just 5 or 6 different multimedia things that we've tried out now, as far back as like Sue the Scheduler puppet videos and Mad Libs, voice actors reading content. Like basically, we're just trying to fill out the story in a whole bunch of different ways, and we hope that the visual novel was exciting for you. If you do have some feedback on the visual novel, start to finish, anything you want to say about it, obviously do let us know in ideas and suggestions or Story World, anywhere. Ask Adrian even is now obsolete, as Adrian and Asha have sort of wrapped up this chapter, but thanks to everyone who definitely asked questions about the lore. It was super fun for the writing team to be able to address some of these questions and think about it for the first time, some of these things. So I think Adrian's Sanctuary was definitely a success for the first offering that we were able to do there. So congrats to the team on 16 chapters of Adrian and Asha.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And the rest of the writing team, so forth, put a lot of work into getting those things done. Writing branching narrative stories is not easy as a writer. It's you may think it's just as simply as like, oh, you're writing 3 times as much. You kind of are sometimes, but you also have to like logically thread through all the branches and so forth. So there is a kind of an art to it, and yeah, it's the first time we're doing it as a team, so we'll continue to get better. And it's the first type of build that we had. Again, like the visual novel tech that we're displaying right now is looking to be enhanced, and we're hoping to do that. So very excited about doing that. And just to be sure, I think a lot of people loved Adrian and Asha as characters, and those characters aren't going anywhere. They're definitely going to be around. You're going to definitely see them in other platforms and medias of storytelling for sure. They're not going anywhere. So they're very much very present in our story world. So stay tuned.
Yeah, canonized breakers, don't forget. Continuing to add to the roster of story characters is a lot of fun as well. So the visual novel, again, not the only medium that we're messing around with. So make sure everyone that's active on Discord is participating in all of our contests and everything we have to offer for your opportunities to get your NFT, your breaker, written into the story permanently. It's pretty awesome. I still need a named character. I've got an idea or two for some fan fictions, but we'll maybe flesh that out in the future. So the next topic that we've actually got is a new hire. It is actually Stephen Wang, or Wang. I'm not 1,000% sure how to pronounce it. I apologize, Stephen. But he is our new VP of Engineering, and he's got some pretty awesome credentials. So definitely wanted to shout him out. We're not going to dox him too hard, but Stephen, thank you for joining the team. We look forward to having a lot of more game studio experience actually joining us in the engineering department. So more exciting stuff for all of our fans of Beast Battler, Twilight Shift, and so on. We got another decade plus heavy hitter joining the ranks with Steven. So excited to have him.
And, I want to shout out a couple of notable background things I think people get excited about. One is he also worked at Twitch, so no surprise there, as you kind of met people who've joined Metatheory. But he also has a very notable stint with Niantic, notably for Pokemon Go. So just wanted to shout that out. That when I saw that got me excited as a storyteller using geolocation technology. Not making any promises. Does not imply that we're going to build a geolocation experience. Doesn't imply we're not. So, but someone with that experience, along with his other gaming and engineering experience, is really, really exciting to me. And so having a board, I actually got to meet him personally.
Nice.
Last weekend, and just had a really great conversation. Just really excited to have him aboard, and see what he does. So yeah,
Niantic, definitely a huge mention there, just because they have done a lot of really interesting things with game engineering, geolocation, augmented reality, all kinds of stuff. So maybe down the road we could just walk around outside and catch some gribbles or explore the dusk on our phone. Who knows? But
Who
Stephen might
knows?
help us realize some crazy stuff. Yep. So Salazar says, "Woo! Exciting addition to the team. Welcome, Stephen." Tasty Bacon, need to stop doing doing these during football. Well, we have an
Yeah,
international audience.
Josh.
Most of them are asleep right now, and the U.S. is watching football, so we'll take that into consideration. But yeah, so Stephen joining the team. We talked about the Gribble experience, wrapping up a little bit. Now we've got the contests, the community contests. A little bit of update there, as the last episode of the breakdown that we did was the 1,000,000 point contest still going on. So we had 2 winners pulled from Twitter. One of them will be canonized. So congratulations to Thomas and KOR Core for winning those NFTs in the 1,000,000 point contest. We had over 60 people try and challenge themselves and set 1,000,000 points or higher. So I think, you guys did a good job. Thanks everybody for participating. There will be potentially more mini game contest things in the future. Obviously, as we are a game company, we're going to keep going back to the games as often as we can. So now the AI art contest, I see Lil Yuzu getting ahead a little bit. Bacon's Beach Alien better win this art contest. So this AI art contest was a little bit different than our past art contests with the Gribble illustrations and the sticker contest for Discord, where we weren't asking anyone to create something from scratch themselves. With various formats, we actually just provided a bunch of links to artificial intelligence artificially generated art. And we ended up with a lot of interesting things. The first prompt that we went with this week was visiting spaceship, as the Dusk is a visiting spaceship. So just trying to get some people's sci-fi juices flowing and see what people came up with. And we got a couple dozen entries. We did some staff voting earlier today after the cutoff, and we are happy to show off the winner that we've chosen here now. I'll switch back to my screen. It is actually this one here, submitted by Come to Be. Got the most points among our internal voting. So I do like the steampunk sort of aesthetic. I can tell that he used Synthrun, obviously, from the graphic there, with the prompt "Lost Lonely Spaceship in Wasteland." Something cool that Synthrun has, if you guys did participate in this, they've got presets. So they have cyberpunk, steampunk, portrait, neon, like a bunch of presets. So he could have typed "Lost Lonely Spaceship in Wasteland" into a bunch of different presets and got wildly different stuff. I think it was super fun. Seeing all the different prompts and tools that people use definitely gives me ideas for the future. Bernie, what did you think of this little activity?
I mean, it's interesting because, saw a lot of cool stuff for sure. It's interesting in the context of like where AI art is going. That's one big conversation, and then on top of that, it's like from us as artists, the perspective that we kind of discuss with each other, I suppose, is okay, well, is this now the expectation? And no matter how many primes we prompt, it isn't. It just isn't, right? It's an AI art. Like, we have artists working on this thing. It's just interesting because it's like, we are in this machine learning, machine enhanced world of optimization and so forth, and so we'll see. We'll see how it plays. I think I'm not saying by any means that I minded the contest. Like, I think the content was really interesting and fascinating to see and have it play out. So I'm glad we did the contest. But from an artist's perspective, someone as an interactive storyteller like myself, like, I'm always like asking these questions of myself of like, okay, how much involvement do you have? Not just, for example, what we're doing right now with interactive, with creators and audience trying to merge together to add story world elements, but now adding machine learning AI to that equation too. So it's like almost 3-pronged. I don't know. We'll see. Like, ask me that question again, and and I'm probably will have a lot to say about it. Potentially good, potentially bad. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I got crossed
like
twice there. It is actually Come to Be's entry is the winner. It is Come to Be's entry that's showing on the screen right now. Ahigao was actually another entry that got very close, so I will give a shout out to the cyberpunk illustration, and then also we kind of had runners up, and I did just want to show off this one from Hitchin, because it is kind of interesting. The prompt he used was, "My parents saw the spaceship I built." And if the prompt was closer, if the theme was closer to visiting spaceship, I think this was a really good piece and got a lot of votes. But my parents saw the spaceship I built is a little different. So the story, I think, is an interesting, just what's entered in the prompt and what you end up with, or it can be, wildly contrasting too. So again, thanks to the couple dozen folks who participated. We will be doing more AI art prompts because this was a lot of fun and it's something that we can repeat with other sci-fi terms. So yeah, definitely want to thank everybody once more. And Tasty Bacon did have the beach alien, which got a lot of applause, but no votes. So it is funny to see what Tasty Bacon did there with the beach alien as well. When you end up with just some weird stuff, right? You never know what you're going to get when you spin the wheel, the AI art generation. So that's pretty much all the pre-topics that we have for review since the last time we were on the show 2 weeks ago. So that's, again, the experience, Adrian Sanctuary wrapping up, Stephen being hired, and now the end of these contests. Again, we're not going to have a contest run through the weekend, but we will likely do another AI art prompt next week, in addition to whatever our next full contest is with a prize. So congratulations to Come To Be. He wins a Gribble egg for his effort, and we will get in contact on Discord. Oh, Bernie, what you're saying? Oh,
I'm just chatting in the chat, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Tasty Bacon and Bernie are just discussing Beach Alien. So, all right. So the next special section of this breakdown is actually an interview with one of our staff members that does not get as much camera time as myself and Bernie. So you'll notice Jason is also absent today, but might join us by the end of the show. But we are actually bringing on a special guest, Kristen Chen. I'll go to a transition screen real quick just to set up the camera, but we'll say bye to Bernie for a sec, and hello to Kristen. Just a moment.
Is there like a transition sound? Like
there's a screen. There you go. And then I pin her camera and unpin your camera, and we're back. And you're not Bernie, so I have to turn off that name. Hello, Kristen.
Hey, Joshy. Great to be here. Thank you for having me again. I think this is my second time on stream since I joined.
That's right. You're here for the Gribble Egg launch experience we did on August 18th. That was the snapshot for all the breakers to get their claims the next day and kick off. Actually, we kicked off everything that night, but it was a little chaotic. The plan to, hope everything worked right the first time did lead us into the wee hours a bit, but it was a lot of fun. And that was actually only your first month here. So let's start by reintroducing you a little bit to all the viewers. Kristen, go ahead and just say, maybe recent previous experience, your role here at Metatheory, and what your first month was like.
Sure. So it's actually, I guess this is timely, as this is my 2-month anniversary at Dustbreakers. I joined 2 months ago as the Chief Product Officer. Super, and I guess first product hire as well. So it's been a lot of fun to kind of build out the product team, product processes, etc. I can get into that a bit more, but prior to Metatheory, I was the CEO of TopGG, which is the largest discovery site for Discord bots and servers. And we also launched a DAO discovery prototype. Before that, my career and background is all in product management and also data and analytics. I've worked at a lot of different Web2 companies focused on creator and content and community ecosystems. So I started my career at LinkedIn in tech, then moved to Twitch, where I worked really closely with JTR CTO, and then also met Kevin as well there, and then also worked really closely with Steve, our new VP of engineering. And at Twitch, I worked with a lot of game developers, mod authors, extension developers, and also our streamers. I then went to Pinterest to kind of build out the foundation for creators there. And then after that, went to SoundCloud as the director of product and worked on their creator to fan org and kind of building out that product loop. So a lot of different kind of industries. And then after SoundCloud was TopGG, and then now Metatheory. But I guess I'll add that I started my Web3 journey. I think it's been exactly a year since I really went deep down the rabbit hole. I've known about crypto Web3 for a while, but I really focused in on DAOs and was a core contributor, most notably at Crypto Culture and Society, the first learning DAO, where I led community for their first semester.
Excellent. That's just a huge pedigree. I mean, mine was mostly freelancing esports. So you've got a lot of real, heavy hitting resume material there with the product and different communities, as you say, too. So definitely glad to have you here. So once you got to Metatheory, your first month was kind of a whirlwind. Do you want to talk about maybe your role here a little bit and how the team works together?
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a whirlwind. I got here and I think it was 3 weeks to the experience launch. And I think what I was so excited about is, with Dustbreakers and Meta Theory, we're building the foundation of Web3 gaming and what community looks like. There's a lot of kind of greenfield, open space to experiment. And so I've been just really focused on kind of key product principles, product rigor, all the way from ideation to shipping that product. So just building up that bottoms up culture where we have room for ideation, trying to build with and for the community. We're starting to kick off a lot of user research, so if you haven't filled out our survey yet, we would love to hear feedback. I think there's a link in the Discord, and then also if you go to our website, there's kind of a banner to fill that out. And something very cool is, if you fill out that survey and you opt in, we're going to be reaching out to do one-on-one user research interviews with you. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully meeting some of you listening on stream and hearing your feedback and incorporating that into the future roadmap for Meta Theory.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots going on.
So I've changed screen here just a second to the egg screen, because obviously a lot of the product stuff that you've been working on with all of our engineers has to do with the egg experience. So top of mind, what are some of the bigger challenges that you had with the egg experience site?
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, there's definitely a lot. I think we were, trying to get to launch, and I feel like with building any product, but especially at startups, you always have to make some sort of trade-offs, and we're always trying to create, the best experience for everyone based on the kind of resources and time we had. So we got to launch, but after we launched, we heard a lot of feedback from the community around, OmniGrow, trying to make that clearer, and also trying to make sure that we created a fun and engaging process and the games didn't feel too grindy. So I think recently we made a lot of changes. We got a lot of good feedback on the OmniGrow summary. So it's really clear, how you're getting OmniGrow and where that's coming from. And we have some other really exciting things in store, but I'll wait for maybe Joshie to prompt me on what I should talk about.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, even little things like I'm unable to show right now, but adding a little flair to the Add OmniGrow button. And obviously we had some display issues the first week that were, kind of wild. People were getting like level 1,000 eggs and stuff like that. But
yes.
That's just stuff that only happens after the product goes live. Sometimes you can't really account for level 1,000 eggs and things like that every time. So thanks everyone who participated in the experience as well and did report their issues, because we were able to pass those on to the engineering team. We did several bug bashes as a team, try and get everyone in there to just at least go through the process one time and identify everything. But we've got 50 plus setups at Meta Theory. You guys have thousands and thousands and millions, so making sure everything works sometimes is a more than 1 week process. So and Sally's our thing saying thanks there for the effort. So I think the OmniGrow experience, the experience, everything is working very smoothly right now. I'm definitely a big fan of the missions, going to the different lore pages for OmniGrow and things like that. I've got all my level 5 eggs showing on OpenSea properly. Like, there's a lot of moving pieces, and any one of these pieces could just throw a wrench into 100 others. So very appreciative of all the work that you and the engineering team have done to just get it to 100. So now we'll move on to what's next. We've got a couple of little teasers that we can talk about. And we did mention on Discord 2 of these. So the first one, the referral program, is the first one I'll mention. Kristen, obviously helping design that. Do you want to give us a little bit of context on what a referral program might look like for Dustbreakers?
Yes, we're super excited to release this very soon. And we wanted to really, offer kind of something to our most engaged members of the community who are referring different friends. So we're kicking off our very first referral program as an experiment. And how it works is everyone will get a unique referral link. You'll see that right on the website, and you can share that with your friends for an opportunity to earn an additional egg mint spot. And also both you and your friend would receive 500 OmniGrow. So if you share your referral link, and then if a friend or multiple friends sign up and do play to mint, then you'll get your rewards. So we're really excited to kick this off and hope you participate in it. And as Joshie was saying earlier, I guess I have to give a huge shout out to Joshie and Jason, because they're the ones surfacing all of the feedback that you're sharing in the community with us, so we can catch and fix bugs and improve things and make them better. So just thank you for continuing to engage with us and let us know how we can improve in Discord in the survey, that helps us build a much better product. So super excited about the referral program, and also excited to see how you'll like it when it launches.
Yeah, the pipeline of players finding broken thing to Discord to engineers is alive and well. I'm in there every day, obviously, and I know that some other folks on the team have started browsing more frequently once the experience started, so they could catch these things. So good feedback system there, and the survey, of course, also is helping to surface some of these things that we did not catch the first time around. So the referral program, hopefully everyone here who's been enjoying the lore and the games and everything and only has a couple of people, maybe they don't want to tweet about it or make a YouTube video or stream it, but there might just be a person that you think would be into it and enjoy some Gribble Eggs and playing some games. The more the merrier. Obviously, if you have a strong attachment with someone in the same project, you bring it up more often. So yeah, we'll just get everybody playing some Duskbreakers here soon. And the next small product that we had actually discussed way back in like February and March is resurfacing again. And this is the POAP, the Proof of Attendance Protocol that we did tease in Discord last week as well. You want to give some context on that one?
Yeah, so we are very, very excited to introduce our first POAP and lean more into Web3 as well. They're quite fun at the different, or whenever I participated at different online virtual events or in-person events, I've always claimed my POAP, and this one is very special because it's designed by Gears, who is just an I'm sure you're all very familiar with this art. He's just an incredible, talented artist. So he's designing our very first POAP, and it will be anyone who participated in Playtiment or took part in the experience first kind of six weeks will be eligible. So you have if you're listening and you haven't participated yet, you have a few more days. I believe we're locking eligibility for this POAP on Monday, October 3rd. So super excited to I got a sneak peek from Gears. I don't think we're ready to reveal it yet, but it looks very, very very cool. So we're really excited to share that, and hope you all like it.
So I'll just speak candidly a little bit. The reason we didn't go for POAPs originally was just achievement systems, right? Are cool, and we everyone loves achievement systems, and Steam page full of achievements. You can see your friends and stuff. We're still building all that stuff. So POAP already built something that we can use in the meantime. So collect them while you can. They are a limited edition, as Kristen mentioned. This one is going to be rewarded essentially retroactively for everyone who played up until now. So definitely, again, continue contributing and participating in our activities, contests, things like that. And now POAPs will be another +1 reason to
yes, and they're free. If you haven't claimed one before, they are free to claim. So
yeah, I'll just a little bit more context. They are NFTs. A POAP is an NFT. It lives on the POAP site when you first get it, but you can migrate it to Ethereum mainnet. You can show it on OpenSea. So it's essentially like a badge, sticker, pin, I was there kind of thing that you can show off and have a profile full of them. So we hope that you'll all be eager to collect the Gears Art exclusive POAPs as we continue to make them and have reasons to give them out. So Kristen, that was very enlightening. Thank you so much. Is there any other tease or topic or send off before we move on?
Oh, yes. I have a few more. So something that is, I guess we just recently launched is social sharing. So if you want to show off your breakers and or your eggs, or even if you don't own the breaker yet and you find a really cool one in the gallery, you can click that little share icon, whether you're on desktop or mobile. On desktop, we've integrated it into different sites that offer kind of that native sharing. So Twitter, you can just copy the link, etc. And share that. Or if you're on your phone, it'll just integrate with how sharing works with most apps on your phone. So really excited to see your tweets or Reddit posts or wherever you want to share your breakers and eggs. So we're super excited about that. Another thing that is launching soon along with the referral program is Wallet Connect. So right now on our site, you can connect your MetaMask wallet, but soon we're going to support Wallet Connect, which offers a variety of different wallets. So really, really excited about that as well. And the last little teaser I'll give is that we have some really exciting contests coming up for both Beast Battler and Twilight Shift, which are going to tweak the meta a little bit. I won't give too much away, but keep an eye out for those very soon.
Yeah, new ways to play coming soon for Beast Battler and Twilight Shift. So Excellent. That's all great stuff there. The sharing feature looks good. I just showed it off there on stream as well. You can show off
Thank
your
you.
breakers, your eggs. You can go to the gallery and show off any of the breakers if you've got, one that you're trying to save up for or something like that. So, yeah, make use and spread the wealth. It could be very helpful for the referral program coming up as well to show
Yes,
them
and
what you got.
yeah, my last, I guess I'll just close with, I
Mhm.
want to say just thank you so much to everyone who's filled out our survey. We've been going through the feedback live, and a lot of that feedback actually inspired us to make these recent changes. So we'd really, really love to hear from you, and please keep the candid feedback coming.
Excellent. Thank you so much. This has been Kristen Chen here, telling us all about our upcoming products, and we thank you very much for your time. We're going to go to the transition again here and now bring on David. See you later, Kristen.
Bye. Thanks, Jeff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if David is available and ready, there he is. I'm going to pin his camera, unpin Kristen, and we are back with David. Hello, David. How you doing?
Hey, I'm great. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm great as well. Let's reintroduce you a little bit sorry, the cameras are moving around a little bit. This is still my home production here, but we got 3 people on the cameras, so it's not going to be perfect. David, let's reintroduce you here for everybody. Why don't you give just a little recap on title and role here at MetaTheory?
Yeah, David Barthwell, Chief Design Officer here at MetaTheory, co-founder. Role, a little bit of everything, but basically keeping eyes and tabs on all of our creative, everything from our 2D and 3D art assets, lore, all of our animated stuff, and yeah, even a little bit of oversight of game.
And so, what? Let's say the last 2 months. What has been your focus? As we've been in build mode here.
Yeah, absolute build mode. Ton going on. The last 2 months, my primary focus, day and night, has been getting this Gribble collection, bringing it together, working on the tooling, working on the pipeline, making sure that it's actually going to be like a very innovative, very fascinating, fun collection for everyone. And then beyond that, also making sure that our lore production, our lore creation pipeline, and working on the consistency of the universe. So a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. It's all really going to come together for everybody very soon. I'm really excited to reveal more and share more with everybody. So yeah, baby steps, we're getting there.
Okay, so since we're now closing in on a year of this project. I'm not sure the initial founding date, if you have that top of mind, but October's right around the corner. So what? This is like a year retrospect for you. How do you think things are things are going?
Yeah. It's been about a year. I will say that coming to work with all of you, everyone else at MetaTheory, has been probably top 3 decisions I've ever made in my entire life. It's challenging. It's fascinating. I'm having to learn a lot. We are making a lot of decisions on the fly and adjusting to the market, adjusting to just learning how to work together, learning how to work with the community. It's been a fascinating process. I've truly loved every second of it. I don't think I would have traded it for anything, really, to be here at MetaTheory. Before MetaTheory, I had, and I've told this story to some of my coworkers. I ran my own company for the last 20 years. I started it when I was in high school. I worked for myself my whole life, and building up that company was a labor of love. And like raising a child. It has been with me for basically half my life. And I did make a decision to stop working that company in order to come on and co-found MetaTheory. It was a big decision, a big sacrifice, but I do not regret it. It was a fantastic, amazing decision, and I'm really excited about the things that we have built and that we're going to keep building in the future.
Excellent answer. Yeah, I'm happy to see your conviction as top 3 decisions made there, and definitely I didn't run a business for 20 years, but my Ask Joshy moniker is about 12 years old now, and it just feels like so heavy to step away from a private project, right? To now take on something new. So I'm a little bit in your same boat, but definitely I can appreciate the weight of that. So now that we are at Metatheory, we've got just a bunch of super smart people and well accomplished studio design leaders, everything like that. So the team that you've helped build up around you definitely is very impressive. What's maybe something that you're really impressed by that we've produced already?
I mean, you're going to see it soon. I'm really excited to see this Gribble collection that we've designed. The tooling behind it is really fantastic. It has been a ton of work. We are creating basically, as far as I can sense, industry leading 3D pipelines and really cutting edge techniques to create these Gribbles. It's laying the foundation for generative technology that I think will really accelerate and affect the way that we create future assets in the Duskbreakers universe and for games beyond. It's really an amazing piece of tech. A lot of people came together to work on it, and yeah, that's been the really most exciting thing for me.
Yeah, so not even Twilight Shift or the lore that we've already got, but the stuff we can't even show you yet is the most impressive. So that is some gas for the viewers. Dilu and Yuzu, excited to see that, of course. So yeah, Twilight Shift blew me away. I thought we were going to end up with like a Pac-Man mini game, and they just crushed it. They made such an impressive product.
Oh, I hold us to an incredibly high standard. No shade at Twilight Shift, and no shade at anything that we've worked on here. But top of mind, Gribbles.
Yep.
I really hope everyone loves it.
Excellent. So since we're on the topic of Gribbles, and you are working hard on it, I think I will tease that there will be more specifics coming soon. You're writing a piece to detail things a bit more. It's not posted yet, so I won't grill you on specifics, but is there anything you can tease some alpha about Gribbles? Because they're still very nebulous right now. All we know is that a level 5 Gribble is supposedly better than a level 1 Gribble. That's basically it.
Yeah. I will let me spill some tea here.
Yeah.
Yes. These Gribbles, so we've created a really advanced generative pipeline. My core objective was, I love like all NFT projects. They're all labors of love. But I think that for many of them, you end up with kind of a Mr. Potato Head kind of situation where there's a base and there are like maybe 5 bases, and then you attach the assets on top, and rarity is because that hat only appears on some of them, and that's interesting and that's fun. But we wanted to do something a little different. I was truly inspired by nature and how I don't know. I love dogs. Every dog is a little different. They may come from the same breed, but there is slight differences in even though they share a very strong sort of similar genetic makeup. The way that those differences are expressed, we're able to look at one dog and tell it from the next. So how do we create a collection of Gribbles that every Gribble is truly unique, truly unique from every other one, even if they share very similar traits, even if they are very sort of closely related on the Gribble scale. And so what we've done is worked with some really advanced generative technology, the power of fractals and random numbers and maths, combined with art, so that everyone's Gribble is going to be truly unique and truly theirs. There are a number of traits, and the way this tool works is that it allows us to basically generate new traits that we can attach to these Gribbles at an incredible rate. We currently have around 50 body typings to where it's sort of the base foundation of a Gribble. But our tool will allow us to create thousands of body typings, hundreds of thousands, millions of body typings. If we wanted to, as a stretch goal, create a unique Gribble for every person on Earth, we could absolutely do this with the tool that we currently have. It's incredibly powerful. It makes these Gribbles really, really, really unique. And although some traits may be more rare versus others, we wanted our audience to be able to own a Gribble, and to really truly attach to it and fall in love, knowing that their Gribble is unique. It is a one of a kind. It looks one of a kind, and this also opens up some really amazing possibilities for TBD. There is no timeline for this yet, but we wanted to make it so that the tool would support breeding. And if you take two Gribbles and they love each other very much, you could combine the genetic traits of either Gribble, baked in with either dominance or recessive trading, so that traits could be tracked over many different generations, and that the resultant Gribble of either two pairings would be truly unique and derived from the parents. So if you bred two Gribbles together 5 times, each of their children would be unique. The tool does support this, so it's an amazing opportunity to create different types of creatures. This type of technology could even be transferred to say in-game armor or tools, inanimate objects as well as animate. It opens up the possibility for us to just allow our creativity to truly explode. And hopefully we would like to eventually adjust this technology and open it up to the audience, and maybe allow you, the community, to procedurally generate assets using this tech that we're exploring now. So it's an amazing platform. I hope that conveys some of my excitement around it. I'm so excited for everyone to see it.
Absolutely. And that is some brand new information for everybody watching. That's generative trait possibilities, a new engine basically being created for this purpose. Breeding has been teased in the past, obviously, so there's no timeline, but that's the idea, is the Gribble Genome Project, as there can be a Gribble for every man, woman, and child, as you've described. So yeah, that's really awesome. I think a lot of people will be happy to hear that. We're doing something obviously fresh. We want to continue to bring fresh ideas to Web3 and Web3 games. So that was, I'm struggling now to think of how to ask a follow-up question to that. It was very comprehensive. So with a little bit
Sorry to steal your thunder. I just got excited.
It's a little bit of a preview on art. So that's the hatchening we've talked about. Will be not in October. We've now announced that we're doing the experience through October. So November at the earliest for the hatchening, still nailing things down. This process sounds like it's pretty intense and will definitely take a lot of time. Any members of the team shout outs as far as like working on the Gribble generation? I just want to make sure everyone gets their kudos.
Oh my God. Yeah. Put me on the spot. I mean, everyone is contributing. I'd love to shout out Jonas. He's our 3D art director. He's truly taking the Gribble by the horns, and is his knowledge, his extensive knowledge of 3D pipelining, and 3D generative techniques, has really helped us concept and troubleshoot and quality control this tool. Shout out to Nelson, Julia, and the entire Taipei team for creating a really unique pipeline that allows us to some more alpha for you guys. The Gribble tool not only outputs a flat 3D image of a Gribble, your NFT image, but at the same time, it outputs a fully game-ready 3D model, fully textured and ready to go, so that your truly unique Gribble can appear in games. It's an unheard of pipeline to be able to in one side, add in generative traits and specifications, and out the other end to come not just a 3D model, but a playable a playable asset that can appear in game. To me, groundbreaking stuff. I don't know of any other team that is doing something like this. Please correct me, don't at me. But it's really, really exciting. And so, our Type A team has worked super hard on making that pipeline work. It involves a lot of different types of software. It involves some really, just tricky, having to solve problems that haven't been solved before. But this amount of innovation that the team is bringing to the project, I really hope that everyone can see it and appreciate it for what it is. We are not just rolling a solution that someone else has created. We're breaking new ground here.
It's all just sounds really awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you feed it a quarter and it pops out a 3D playable Gribble. It sounds pretty great, gumball machine style. So that's really rad, and actually ties in with our little AI art contest that we just did. I was talking to Bernie a little earlier on the show about some of the ramifications or what he thinks about AI art. Obviously, we're leaning into it heavily with the Gribble. I mean, it's not going to be one's not going to look like a cat and one look like a dog. There's still parameters. But the random generation is still, very much technology-based, math science, as you mentioned, mixed with art. So very, very cool to see the applications. And I know that I've just seen, internally, we've had some posts of artificially generated art where it's like, hey, this gave us some ideas, right? Like the visiting spaceship contest that we had might give us some ideas. I did AI art for the word Gribble and it came out looking kind of like a koala, but maybe some other weird creature can show up later. So it is really cool for the purpose of concepting. I'll say absolutely. Like you can throw a dozen concepts up very quickly compared to hours and hours of sketches. So some people like us with sci-fi, where we don't really have there is no Gribble in existence for us to just copy paste. It's really cool to have this generative stuff that we can use our imaginations to adapt. Just my opinion there. So yeah. So David, you spoke a good 25 minutes there. You're killing it here. Definitely got more than I was expecting out of you. So if there's anything else you'd like to tease or send off, we can move into the AMA section and start pulling some questions from Discord. But let's give you a final minute here. Anything you want to say?
No. I just really hope I was able to convey my gratitude to the team for how hard we worked on this Gribble collection. I really hope that this carries across to the audience how truly unique and interesting I think this collection is going to be, and shows our conviction as a team to really trying new things and being innovative, being experimental, discovering, and creating new technologies for the benefit of all of us together. I really think that, this is going to be fun. I hope everyone loves the Gribbles, and more to come, plenty more to come.
Excellent. So thank you, David, for all of that insight, as well as some preview stuff. Getting people excited about the Gribble collection that they've been, waiting patiently for, hatching and seeing more game details and things like that. And we do apologize again. Things slide, but it does, we're lucky and fortunate to be able to have some time to observe, market, build things, and continue to make the proper decisions for our project. So definitely thank you to all the holders, Gribble or Breaker holders out there, for sticking with us, as time is a valuable resource that we are trying to make every use of. But now we'll move into the AMA. So David's not actually going anywhere. We're going to leave him on camera because I actually have a question for him right up. First thing, you've got a big fan in Jasmine One Red on our Discord. So she's very curious about the stories, Adrian's story, Jolie's story, and any continuations. She also mentions the Pact, which is a rare, that's a deep cut. But she asks, what are your plans? Continuations or just one-offs? What do you think about that?
Yeah. No, we have been building so much lore on the back end that we haven't revealed yet. creating a story world is a very challenging thing. There is sort of a line which you cross when you're creating a story world where you've achieved enough consistency in terms of the rules of the universe to where the things you create start to actually make sense. You're not having to just stitch things together, they just feel right. I think internally, it's been a bit of a journey to discover where that line is for us with Dustbreakers, and to figure out exactly how much of the foundation we needed to lay internally to be able to run as a team. I really think we have finally hit that point. And yes, we are going to continue telling stories about all of the characters in the world. We're going to begin to unveil more of that sort of homework to you. And we're going to start to tell stories with massive arcs with massive consequences for the universe. We want to continue to build technologies and systems internally that allow us to collaborate with you as an audience. You might not see it, but we are, we're fainting, and we're taking stabs and learning what it means to collaborate with an audience and build a story world of this scale. I don't see anyone else really doing this at sort of the level of detail that we've achieved internally. And I think we're really hitting a sweet spot. So coming out over the next year, our story world is going to really open up. You're going to start to see some really amazing story arcs. We are continuing to hire and growing our capacity to create web comics, to create additional lore assets like say podcasts. We have a lot of capacity, a lot of preparation, and everyone's been waiting so patiently. I really appreciate that, and yeah, it's we're on the cusp. I think the Gribble collection is going to be a real turning point for us. It's going to show what we can achieve technologically, and then after that, we're off to the races. We can really share more of the world.
That was an excellent answer. Bernie is still here on the call if he had any 2 cents about Jolie, Adrian, or the Pact, which is, for those less in the know, that is the Shadow District and Dusk Tech sort of keeping their distance. That's the Pact mentioned.
Hashtag spoilers.
But Jasmine knew about it already. She's asking questions.
Well, she's up to date with all the existing content.
I see. Yes,
That's what that means.
You're right. The last chapter was last week. You've had some time, but not everyone's caught up. So go read Adrian's Sanctuary right now if you don't know what's going on. Okay. And then Jasmine, follow-up question. Interested in learning more about Dr. Lindaway. Where is she from? Can we see how she looks? Can we see some concept art? That's almost historical at this point, is it? Or is Lindaway still involved?
Yeah, we do have some concept art. I'll work with team with content to get something out there for you in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome.
Hopefully sooner. Let's make that happen. And yes, Lindaway is still in play. She still exists in the story world. And telling the story of Lindaway and the first Breaker team, something that we are actively discussing internally. We think it's a really fun story to talk about how she came to enter the Dusk, what happened to her, how she relates to Dusk Tech now, the ways that her journeys within the Dusk have changed her, and what she currently is looking for and what she wants, and maybe how that compares and contrasts against the wishes of Dusk Tech. It's some amazing stuff. I don't want to reveal too much that ruins the enjoyment of a well-crafted story. But yeah, let's get some art out there for you. We'll show you Lindaway. We'll show you the original Breaker team, and that I can do for you.
Excellent. I'm sure Jasmine will be very excited, as will everybody else. So the next couple of questions, there's actually not too much as far as like specific details or anything. Most of the questions still have to do with the hatching and the egg experience ending, so we kind of just addressed that already, deferred as appropriate. And then these last questions are actually about inspirations. So David, since we don't get to hear from you too much, I'll ask you first. What's a recent new show, series, or project you are following and excited about? Other stuff, not Duskbreakers.
Not Duskbreaker stuff. Yeah, I'm currently watching the new Lord of the Rings series.
Hell yeah.
Also watching House of the Dragon. Yeah, maybe boy, hot take. I like the Lord of the Rings show a little bit more.
I'm in that boat.
I just think it's fun. I'm really enjoying the characters. I mean, they must have spent a clutch of money on that show. It's super high quality, and I've been a Lord of the Rings fan my whole life. And I came to Martin a little bit later in the game. I read the books, but yeah, not like a super Westeros head, but yeah, Lord of the Rings. Oh man, it just scratches all the itches for me. So I'm really enjoying that, and that is the scope of story that I would love to tell here at Duskbreakers. Like when we create a story world, that's the amount of detail that I'm looking to get into.
Like full eras.
That's a lot
history.
of work.
Yeah.
fully immersive. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Yeah, Rings of Power is impressing me more than House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon and Rings of Power are both kind of weird because I know what happens in both of them just for reading the stuff. So it's kind of interesting. Lord of the Rings also, for me, I was 11 or 12 when I got the book paperbacks at a book exchange for $10. This is before the movies were even spoken about, so they ended up being worth like $100 each or something after that. Pretty good. Yeah, it was a good find for me. So I'm always happy to I did a book report on Tolkien. Like he fought in the World War. Like he made all these languages and mythologies, and people are like, well, Tolkien didn't invent dragons. It's like he kind of did invent European dragons, because Chinese and other representations were far different. So Tolkien is just unfathomable amount of output for the time period he lived in, for one thing, is very, very impressive. And having to be in a world war amongst all of that, and you can see themes obviously in Lord of the Rings tying to themes of war, very constant. So it's really cool. But Cyberpunk Edgerunners is one that Gears and Delu just mentioned in chat, and I just watched that on Netflix as well. Really cool stuff, very violent, mature themes, but the animation is awesome. Sci-fi themes are great. Feels like a complete story in just one season, detached from the game, I should say. She-Hulk is another show I'm watching. I'm just kind of going through there. Andor has started now. Andor is very exposition heavy. That's the Star Wars prequel series to Rogue One. So we know what happens in that already too. It's kind of, we've got 3 prequel shows going on at the same time for Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and Lord of the Rings. But that's I have been watching. There's a lot of good content right now. Fantasy and sci-fi nerds are eating well. And Bernie, definitely don't want to miss your chance to chime in here.
Let me think. What can I say hasn't been said? I mean, I'm gonna go a different run here. I think we're in this kind of renaissance of the procedural.
Okay.
And this is complete. I mean, look, love Lord of the Rings. I love Game of Thrones. I am a Westeros super fan, so like I'm there watching She-Hulk. Got you there. Haven't watched Andor yet. Got you there. We'll get there. But like, I've actually been really impressed with the modern procedurals that they've really changed the tone of them and made them more heartfelt. So if you look at like the history of storytelling, you kind of have these multiple eras of procedural storytelling, which was first you had like the 80s and 90s, which was kind of this like tongue-in-cheek Matlock era, where it was like Columbo not taking anything too seriously, and it was just very kind of, here it is. And then you had this kind of the era that was brought in by CSI and the Law and Orders, which was very serious and like grim and everything like going down, which actually got worse.
It sells though. Yeah.
Yeah, it sells. I mean, worse, I'm not saying it got terrible. I mean, it got like grimmer, like as in you got to Criminal Minds, and you got to like serial killer shows and like Manhunter and everything. Very and then popular. Now what you're seeing in this kind of modern era, which I'm finding fascinating as a storytelling historian, is like you're actually seeing the shift of the modern procedural to like lighthearted but like family driven stuff. So like it's about family. Like every show is about family.
Succession.
No, procedurals. Like,
Okay.
like cop shows and lawyer shows. Like cop shows before were always about like someone died. How do you solve the person who died? Someone's a serial killer. How do you catch a serial killer? Like that's what it always was. And then now you're seeing the shift into this like we're saving lives. We're about saving lives. Like no one's lost a life. No one died in the beginning. People are in danger, but we're saving them all. You know, and I just feel just for our world, it's better. Like it's like a better message that when they're highlighting, you know, the boys in blue, the boys in red, the boys in white, right? Girls too, all everybody. Like they're not just, you know, trying to catch these terrible people. They're like helping people. They're genuinely helping people out there. And then those groups are familial. Like they become these families. I don't know if they're actually like this in real life, of course, with, you know, because society and these things, but I just think it's a much better message. And I'm actually wanted to shout that out from a story. I came to this revelation about a few weeks ago when I was like analyzing some other material, like 911 does this, the Chicago shows all do this kind of, you know, all together now, and those are the kind of the big runs right now is the 911 franchise and the Chicago franchise, right? And you have kind of these outliers like Blue Bloods and like that. So what you're seeing is like this phase out or this like shifting of the CSI, NCIS, Criminal Minds era, and you're kind of this like influx of this new heartfelt, family driven, save people stories. And I'm just like, I find it refreshing.
Yeah, it feels better.
Yeah. You know, 15 seasons of Criminal Minds, of Serial Killer of the Week.
Yeah.
You know, and SVU with like, you know, sexual assault victim of the week, right?
Just CSI got to its third city, and I was like, why do we need 3 cities of this? It's like
and they're rebooting it. They're going back to the original city. NCIS is in their 4th city, right? So
can never satisfy those audiences, I guess, because that is all they consume. It's a very huge genre.
But I would also state that, you know, I mean, I'm sure like a lot of, I don't know how much audience is coming back and forth between the storytelling, or rather the sci-fi fantasy groups and these procedural groups. But these procedural groups are a huge part of storytelling. Like they consume, you know, the biggest shows on television. Yeah. Every week are the procedural.
Law and Order and NCIS are 2 of the biggest ever of all time. Yeah.
yeah. And currently today, like Fox's biggest show is 911. NBC's biggest franchise is what? It's the Chicago block, right? It's like that's what they're doing. So it's like you can't like completely write it off. I'm not saying that we should just bring procedurals, but I was saying like I find it refreshing from a perspective in the question. So anyway,
I agree. Yeah, that's a good take. Since we are now past the hour, just last question. We'll go around once more for everybody. John Doe asks specifically, what is your favorite Web3 gaming project besides Duskbreakers? So games specific this time. I'll start just by saying I've only done a handful. My first interest was Axie Infinity last year, but I did not buy in because I felt it was a little too cost prohibitive at the time. This is when crypto was doing a little healthier, but Duskbreakers was my first entry into the games, and then I checked out things like Thaden Arena. STEPN, I don't think you can really count. It is gamified, but it's not a game. We do have a lot of things to learn from STEPN, but I think Guild of Guardians is one that's been impressing me with their marketing and their player base and some of the partnerships that they've had. So Guild of Guardians, I'm definitely looking at, especially because they just signed on a bunch of esports orgs that I have worked with in the past in my previous, life. Getting players signed up for Web3 gaming is starting right now with Guild of Guardians and a couple other titles. So that is where my attention kind of has been. Illuvium and Everseed are 2 other titles that I'm into but not active in. David, how about you?
Yeah, I like to. So I'm not actively playing many Web3 games right now, but I do follow a number. I love seeing what they're doing creatively. I love following what they're doing in terms of their technology, how they are connecting with their communities. I think 2 that I really like. One is a friendly partner project of ours, Genopets. I really think they're doing some awesome work. I think their design is amazing. And then Treeverse. I really like the the way that they are sort of bottom up, revealing the process through which they are creating their art assets, their music assets. It feels like very organic, and I think they're doing a really good job. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of really awesome projects out there. Those are two I'd highlight.
And Bernie.
I've been following Nine Heroes. I haven't. I
Mhm.
don't think their game is out yet. But the game I really liked that I saw and played, which was the what's it called? My Pet Hooligan. Their game is very impressive. Very impressive. Like open world, whimsical chaos, what you would expect. I feel if you know that brand, My Pet Hooligans, just crazy fun. Really, really impressive what those guys put together. I haven't played it a ton, but I thought the game was yeah. It executed on what was promised. That's my feel.
Okay.
My feeling.
All
Yeah.
right. There is one. I'm just going to Google quickly so I don't misspeak here. I would like to ask both of you about what you think of Other Side and Improbable. That is the Yuga Labs world with land, and if you guys have been paying attention to what they're doing there, they're doing huge tests right now. A buddy of mine, Grimecraft, is working on it now, where they're getting 10,000 people into a lobby and testing voice chat at the same time and unique animations at the same time. So, David, what do you think about something large scale, not so much a game, but a hangout world like that? What do you think of those sorts of projects?
Yeah, yeah, it's really fascinating. I mean, from a technical standpoint, an amazing lift to be able to implement something like that. I it is a different approach to I think the type of experience I want to push for Duskbreakers. I do love massive games. I do love massive multiplayer games. I think where we hope to really connect is to create moments of small scale like emotional resonance, and I think that comes from a person, one, connecting with the story, and two, connecting with characters within that story, acting as the lens through which one can experience a world and share their sense of wonder and their sense of confusion, and enjoy sort of the conflicts that character experiences. To me, that is where we will win with our project. But I do find the technology that powers an experience where you can have 10,000 people concurrently in world, all having unique animations, everyone speaking at once. I mean, that is true massive scale tech. Incredibly impressive. I can't wait to see what they do with it. What
True.
it
Yeah.
is like to be in that world. But yeah, absolutely following very closely what they're building, and very impressed thus far.
And Bernie, take on Other Side or Improbable, the mass experience compared to the.
I don't feel I have enough to say about this one.
Okay.
I haven't followed, so sorry.
No problem. I'll share some more links that I find interesting. There's always cool stuff popping up every day. Improbable caught my eye because of Grimecraft, as I mentioned, sharing some of those videos, but the tests look really cool. Like, as David said, like, what are they going to do with it? Building it because he can is fun, but it's got to, have to have a hook of some kind to keep you logging in and hanging out there instead of here, right? Like instead of Discord or Twitch or somewhere else. So it is going to be very interesting. I will definitely keep watching that one. So thank you for all the answers on those. Does not look like we have any more super tailored questions for Bernie or David. We are past the hour, so I think we will go ahead and wrap it up now. So thank you very much, David, Bernie, and Kristen earlier for joining us here on The Breakdown. This was our second iteration of the show. Still have more things in mind for future episodes. So thanks everybody who came to watch. Hope you'll follow the Twitch channel if you aren't already. And we're going to let you go for the week. But David, any last words for our audience?
Yeah, no, yeah, just thank you so much for caring, for listening, for supporting us, for sharing with your friends. please encourage people that you know to participate, to come mint a Gribble. We think it's a super fun, low barrier of entry way to hold a little piece of this project that we're building. We'd love to yeah, just have more people to add their special flavor to what we're building here. And yeah, thank you for your patience. What we strongly consider everything that we put out. We really care about what we're building. We really want to feel proud to attach our names and our reputations. And we hope that what we create is yeah, that you've sensed that and that you feel that as an audience. And so yeah, thanks for waiting. Stuff's coming, and yeah, see you on the other side.
Excellent. And Bernie, sign off for the show.
Thanks, everybody. It's been awesome. Till next time.
Till next time. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you when you see ya. Do check us out on discord.gg/duskbreakers, and we can chat there in the meantime. Good night.